Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Kari and Kristin. I'm Kari Dory, running for Minnesota Senate District 12.
And I'm Kristin Tafe. And Kari, I understand that just last week you received the endorsement from Women Winning. How exciting, congratulations.
Thank you, it was really exciting. The endorsements are quite a process, and it's been really exciting to be applying for some of them. One of them I recently applied for was with Women Winning, and to get that endorsement last week was very meaningful. To see my picture among all of the women on that that got that endorsement is really powerful. Women that are currently elected, as well as so many stellar candidates that are running for office.
So Women Winning is really supporting those individuals that are looking to run for office to increase the representation by women in elected positions. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I understand that right now, based on the population breakout, 50 to 51% of our population is women, but they're very underrepresented in those elected roles.
Yes, you are so right about that. So if we look at our congressional seats, we only have 27% of those are filled by women. Mm-hmm. And if we look across the United States, there's only 9 governors that are women, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, those are really low stats. Mm-hmm. Are those stats at least improving, or is that kind of a steady, that's where we are?
So in Congress, if you look at a decade ago, we've had a 50% increase, which I think is huge, but we still have a long way to go. That's far below the female share of the overall U.S. population.
What about in Minnesota? We have 2 women representing our state at the federal level. Is that echoed throughout the state of Minnesota?
So if we look at the legislature, there's 201 legislators, mm-hmm. and we have 51 women in the House and 21 women in the Senate, which is about 36 or 37% of those legislative seats are held by women. But if you look at specifically those senators, there's 0 women from rural Minnesota. So
wow,
I would like to change that.
I would like that as well. What about at the county level? Is there a nice allocation at that level?
So that is really where it gets kind of alarming. If you look at, we have 87 counties, so there's 87 county commissioners. Most of those have no women on them. There's half of them have 0 women on them, and most of those are from rural areas. So I think we have a lot of work to do locally to get women represented.
Most definitely. Office. In order to do that, it sounds like we have to grow the pipeline. There's a lot of places where women need to be better represented.
Absolutely, yes.
Why should we work to get women into public office?
So one of the organizations I've been working with and have so much respect for is called Vote Run Lead. The mission of Vote Run Lead is to help women as voters, as candidates, and as leaders in their community to really create and sustain an equitable democracy. So for me, an equitable democracy is reflective. It's a reflective democracy of what do our communities actually look like. Mm-hmm. So we certainly need as many women in elected office as men. Or I think that, policy is certainly better when it reflects our population.
Yeah,
so
the
not
people
only,
you're representing.
Absolutely. So, we're talking about women today, but we also really need to talk about people of color, how underrepresented they are in mm-hmm. office. So much work to do.
I really love that phrase, equitable democracy. I think that's a great way to look at it. Let's have the people that are in these positions reflect who they're representing.
Absolutely.
It's like that expression, if you aren't at the table, you're on the menu.
I agree with you on that one, exactly. When women don't hold political power, our interests are certainly not a part of that decision-making process.
So what can we do to support women that are running for office?
So you can volunteer on the campaigns. Donating to women's campaigns is really important. And I think we also need to be asking women to run for office. I think women need to be asked more often than men. For myself personally, I think they say 7 to 10 times you need to ask a woman to run for office before that seed is planted. But I think for me, it was certainly a lot more than that. So planting that seed of you should run for office. And I think we also need to start thinking very locally. The political pipeline starts locally, so we need to be supporting candidates in our own communities at all levels of government. So looking at our school boards, county commissioners like we talked about.
Right.
So yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
I'm excited to see an increase in representation by women and to get to that more equitable democracy.
I am as well. So we're certainly going to do our part to make that happen.
Yes, most definitely.